So yeah, this is an implementation here that we did for one of our clients around basically page splitting for PDFs. And so this was built by Ben and Lucas on our team for one of our clients. And really the core goal of this is that our client would receive a document that was a ton of pages, and they actually needed to work with it in kind of subsections based on some predefined like page splits. Um, there are third-party services that do this, that you can send a PDF to, and they will split it based on some ranges and then send it back. The client had some particular security concerns just because some of the information on these documents just cannot be shared. They have their own kind of like internal NDAs and kind of agreements with the people who are sending them these documents. So data security was a really big kind of concern and focus for this implementation. Um, so we really wanted to sort out a way to do this only using existing Zoho APIs. And so, you know, to do that, essentially what we did is, when that file gets uploaded, we trigger a deluge function that will essentially download the original PDF into that function. Then inside of the deluge code, we'll create one copy of the PDF for each of the required page splits, right? So we kind of know based on the type of the document, we want this to be, pages 1 to 5, pages 6 to 10, and then pages 11 to 12 are going to be our three groupings. So we can make 3 copies. Next, each one of those copies gets assigned essentially the page range that we want it to end up being, right? So a start and an end based on some of these parameters in our functions. And then interestingly here, Lucas kind of figured out a way to use the combine PDF API available in Zoho Writer to not combine API or combine PDFs, but essentially split them. And the reason that it works is that with that combined PDF API, you can send multiple documents to it with an array of page ranges. And you could say, like, for document 1, give me, range 1 to 5. And for document 2, give me 6 to 7, right? And it will take those subsets and combine them. But what we found is that if you just send it one document with a page range, it will actually just split out everything else and just return you only that page range of the document. And so, in essence, once each of those is received back from the Writer API, we can process each of them individually based on some naming conventions and drop them into WorkDrive where we need them. So, pretty fun implementation. Again, kind of the big use case here is just keeping it all in house. We've done this type of work before using third party APIs, but you end up having to pay, right, for each of the documents that you've split, and you're adding another link in the chain in terms of like who has this data, who has ever touched this document, right? And so now if you're using something like small PDF, Adobe, any of them, again, it's just another link in that custodial chain of who all has that access to a particular PDF. So really cool implementation. Great job by Ben and Lucas. Definitely one that I would see us using again in the future.
Very cool. Like you said, we've done this before using third-party tools. This is kind of a whole another way of doing it. I would say there will not be a video on this or a code share on this. A little too complicated, huh?
Yeah, a little tricky, and it's definitely one of those ones where we are using an API outside of what it would normally be used for. It's not doing anything weird, but it's just we're only sending this combined PDF API one thing, right, with the page range, and it's kind of a brute
Right.
force way to do that split.
Right. Very, very cool. Nice job, Lucas and Ben.